Welcome to the Class is Permanent podcast. Today is Tuesday, April 14th, and we have an awesome episode here ahead of you. We're going to jump into a weekend recap, get into the upcoming UCL games. Pooch is going to do a review of the 1962 World Cup, and Owen has some massive news to share with everybody. Let's get into it. Away we go.
Class is permanent!
Alrighty. After a nice weekend, I am joined by my partner in crime, but his crime is only being good looking, Dan Capucci. What's up, Pooch?
What's up, B? How are you?
You know, Pooch, I was doing pretty well until we got some news, some bittersweet news. But we're doing well. I won't steal the thunder. A man who has some big news to share with the pod, a man that goes by Admin Owen, has joined us, and he's feeling better. That's the good stuff. That's not bittersweet. Owen, how were we doing today?
Yeah, I'm all right today. It was an eventful day. Yeah, I got some word from upstairs. Management let me know that they're looking to loan me out for the summer. I said a bigger club. Pooch and E think it's a lateral move. But I'll have the privilege of covering the World Cup as a production assistant. I'm not going to be playing, unfortunately. I might play actually, but out in Los Angeles, should be able to stay on the pod. We'll have to navigate the time change. But like I said, it's a short-term loan. They just needed my talents elsewhere. Pretty sought after these days. Used to stuff like this. A lot of offers coming in. Most of the time I reject them to stay with my boyhood club. But, you know, when something like this comes around, you got to accept. And I'll be back better, bringing all kinds of insight, technical skill, tactical analysis, all this. Okay. See, this is part of the reason, why I've looked elsewhere. But no, so that's fun. Maybe I'll give you guys some exclusive World Cup news as that comes down the pipeline this summer. And maybe we'll get Alexi Lalas on the show.
Yeah, that's probably the big thing for us.
People have been dying for. I keep getting texts and calls and emails saying, podcast great, but it's missing Alexi Lalas. So maybe we can rectify that.
Correct. First things first, a big congratulations in order for Admin O. He has turned from just a little O to a big O. So we are very proud of him, and that should be awesome for you. Yeah, I think for me and Pooch, so first off, just to refute some of your claims, we didn't want to loan you. Because as Pooch mentioned,
you forced a move. You forced a move.
Right. Well, he surprised us with a move. They've paid his release clause.
They surprised me with the move, too. I found this out 2 hours ago, and this really came out of the blue.
This is feeling like a little bit of a Morgan Gibbs White, where we've just, as Spurs, we found out you had a release clause. They've went and paid it. And then now, I mean, I feel entitled to be like Mr. Marinakis and find a way to keep you. But part of me kind of just wants to cash in on you. I don't even want to loan you.
I think the best kind of thinking I have, soccer related thing, is it's like El Canoes, Bilal El Canoes for Leicester City, how he balled out in the Prem last year. Leicester goes down, so they know he's too good. They don't get the fee that they want for him. So what do? They loan him out to Germany for a year, hoping that he gets his talents up. And then when they get promoted back in to the Prem, he's God. Now the only issue is Leicester City got a points deduction, and they're actually shite. So I'm hoping that we aren't Leicester City, and instead we're like a Tottenham Hotspurs. If we go down, we'll bounce right back up. First
off, thank you for that, Pooch. I'm not fully sure about that on our own end, but yeah, I think on top of this too, like Owen said, this is actually, you know what's a better maybe analogy here? You're Kolo Muani. You're kind of like unwanted at PSG right now, just too much talent. And we're sending you to someone who needs you for just a short bit of time, but they're probably not going to buy you full time, respectfully. So you'll come back and maybe we'll sell you to, I don't know, ABC or NBC for a decent fee.
Yeah, that's good with me.
Now, Owen, since you're covering the World Cup, can you serenade the listeners with Speed's World Cup song?
Ooh, that's a good one. Good question.
But I can definitely do the entirety of Jelly Rolls.
No, don't do that.
That's better, right?
No, I want him. I want to hear it. I haven't heard it yet. I would like
Yeah,
Owen to
I actually
sing it to me
I
instead of
forget how
Jelly
it
Roll.
goes.
Okay.
Anyway, let's get into the real podcast. We're obviously very happy for Owen. It is
3
literally
clap
news to
salute.
us.
Thank you guys. You know, you two are like the literal third and fourth people I've told this because it happened so recently. So
I was going to
you
say,
Well,
two,
get ready, Owen. All of Vietnam and Southeast Asia are gonna listen to this and know it.
yeah, you two and Ho Chi Minh City are
Yeah.
who know what's going on.
how do you say congratulations in Vietnamese? How to say congratulations in Vietnamese? Oh wow,
Careful.
I don't know how I'm going to say this.
Come on, give it a shot.
Chúc mừng. That means congratulations. So Chúc mừng, Owen.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you guys.
enough glazing, Owen. Let's get into it. Another piece of news regarding the podcast tier is you probably saw as you loaded up that it is a shorter episode. Because we are actually trying to grow the account and trying to make more sense for everybody. We've decided to change the format of the pod a little bit. So instead of doing more games and a lot of those mini segments that can maybe be better utilized as short form clips, we're instead going to keep those for social. We're just going to kind of do our recaps, our previews. Pooch will still do his World Cup review. He's very anxious to talk about that. But we're going to try and keep the episodes a little bit shorter so that way we save some of that time for us to do some other things, help grow the account. I think we're like at 99 followers on Instagram. So should be a good one. Our interviews, of course, will still be long form. We're not going to cut those short, but there's no need for us to be playing a bracketology when we can make that a 2-minute clip on Instagram and everyone can get behind it. So we enjoy it, but it's one of those things where we're all working kind of full time or similar to full time, and it's a little tricky to spend extra time making clips. So any questions, you could just email kevindoonan@gmail.com. He will be handling that for us. Let's get into the footy. Before we get into the recap, I wanted to talk real quick. Frank Lampard is about to get Coventry promoted. I did not realize this. When he took them over last season, they were 17th. So quite the turnaround job. I think they have to lose their last 4 games 8-0 in each game to not be promoted. So they're essentially in. I have not done a good enough job keeping an eye on the championship. Pooch, what are your thoughts here? Go.
I have been keeping an eye on the championship because I love the championship. Coventry all year basically has just been putting BTA to the entire league. They are miles ahead of everybody. They don't have a lot of household names that you'd think of for like a team being promoted. It's a lot of kind of career championship players. So I don't know how well they do in the Prem.
Gotcha.
But they have Haji right. This is a team that I believe 2 years ago was in the championship final, lost on PKs to I want to say Ipswich, but I'm not 100% positive.
That sounds right.
But they're a great team. If we're also doing a little championship talk, Millwall has an opportunity to get promoted, and that's an intriguing one because obviously when we did a few months ago our top 10 derbies, if West Ham stay up and Millwall, that derby would be the first time since like the early 2000s. And I want to like that they've played and like the 90s since they've played in the top flight. So that's a good one. Ipswich, I do think will get promoted. Wrexham, I'm hoping they don't, but I have a feeling somehow they'll figure it out. And
they're a little bit outside of it, but I guess if they get in the playoff.
And then Middlesbrough, like they were actually up there with Coventry about 10 games ago, like in terms of 1 point off, 2 point off. And then Rob Edwards went to manage his boyhood club, Wolves, and they fell off. On the other end, it is a tight race for the bottom. Oxford United in 22nd, 44, and then Charlton's in 18th with 49. So it's tight. West Brom right now, they're 20th, 2 points above the drop, but they got caught with financial fair play or whatever, so they may get a points deduction and put them back down. So it's an interesting race. I think Frank Lampard doing a great job at Coventry. I think we kind of already knew that he was a pretty good manager when he kept Everton up, and he kind of kept that Chelsea ship afloat for a while there. But I wouldn't be shocked if he stays 1 year at Coventry and then gets another job in the Prem.
For sure. I mean, that Chelsea job might be open. We'll talk about that with the recap. But welcome to Wrexham, Owen's new employer. They've renewed them for 3 more seasons. So, Pooch, that's awesome for you. You love Ryan Reynolds.
Moving on.
Okay, moving on. Did you guys see this goal? I wrote it down because I saw it today. The Rabona from outside the 18.
Mm-mm.
All right. If you didn't, you could just type in Rabona from outside the 18. I don't know how to do this in a podcast form. I'm just going to explain it. Some lower level league.
Did he Rabona it outside the 18?
He didn't just hit a Rabona outside the 18, Pooch. I'm going to say one more time, Rabona outside the 18. He like hit a piss missile to the top corner, Rabona. I don't know how he did it. It's doing the rounds on socials. Take a look. Give the guy the Puskas. I always like when it goes to like it's not like a top player on a top team. It goes like some random dude. So good stuff there, but it's been making the rounds. Pooch, it's time for you to do your World Cup review. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. I'll give you 3. You have 3 minutes to talk about the 1962 World Cup and why it was interesting or not interesting.
1962 World Cup on
That's
the
one you
surface,
just read, right?
Yeah, I read it maybe an hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago, so
Wow.
it's fresh in the mind.
And
I read
what's
it on
the name of the
train
book?
home.
Can you name us the book? Someone asked me the name for the book, and I don't even think we ever said it.
Who asked for it?
Connor W, who actually gave us the question last week for the Ask It Pro.
Does he follow us?
Very. No. He's the only one that sent me a question to Ask a Pro, and then we asked the pro.
Tell him if he comments on Spotify or Apple Music, whatever he listens to, I'll tell him the name of the book.
Okay,
He has
that's
to
fine.
comment
Connor,
first.
I don't have to tell him. He's listening.
Yeah, you have to comment first if you want the book, the name of it. I'm not giving that away for free.
Wow, we're gatekeeping.
Yeah, 1,000%. So 1962 wasn't, on the surface, wasn't the best World Cup. Like, it was not, like, footballing wise. Like, Brazil won handily. Like,
okay. Right.
This
was still the Pele era.
Yeah. Shockingly, Pele did not play a lot in this World Cup because he had pubalgia.
Actually,
so I don't know. It just said he had an issue with his groin, and the first thing I thought was pubalgia. So, which it could have been. But so they won handily even without really his influence in the team. But there were a few interesting notes. The first one being it was held in Chile.
Nice. Good pronunciation.
And a few months before the World Cup was supposed to be held, they actually had a devastating earthquake that killed tens of thousands and actually collapsed half of the stadiums that they were going to host in. So they had to shorten the stadiums from 8 to 4, which was interesting. And then it was the rise of the quote unquote, what we call nowadays harambal. Because Brazil was so good and a lot of these teams were playing such free-flowing footy, do you want to take a guess what country kind of started this trend of harambal?
England?
No. I mean,
I was thinking Brexit.
Yeah, when I tell you, you're going to be like, "Oh, that makes a ton of sense actually."
Harambal?
But I don't think you'll get it.
Italy?
No, but after this World
defensively.
Cup, well, after this World Cup, they said that's what they're going to start doing. So,
okay. Germany?
Owen, no. Owen, do you want to guess? One guess?
Is it Japan?
No.
No. What type of guess is that?
It was Argentina.
Really? I guess that makes sense. Yeah, the South American, yeah.
Yeah, so you remember how I said that in 58, they all basically came in fat and, like, out of shape? Well, the way that they combated that in the lead up to 62 was we might not be the most physically great team in terms of their physical presence, whatever, but they were like, we're going to beat the shit out of teams.
Okay.
Like, we're just going to beat the shit out of teams. So this World Cup is known for basically being like the start of anti-football, they called it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it had the most red cards up until that point. I think it had 6. One of the first games was the Battle of Santiago, which I know
you and these battles, dude.
Well, they mentioned it. So, but basically
it's footy,
this battle was the Chile versus Italy, and multiple Chileans. First of all, basically the Italian journalists, when they came over originally, they were being super racist towards Chile, basically saying like they're low class. They live in the slums, like all this stuff. So the Chileans were mad when they played Italy in the opener. There were one guy got stomped out, another guy got punched in the face, one guy got elbowed in the face. The referee at the end of the game, Chile won, but literally went over to the sidelines, blew for full time, and sprinted into the locker room, and then both teams just fought each other. So the way it was described was nuts. So that was there. It was also the rise of Grenache.
Garincha.
Thank you.
Oh my God, dude.
This was kind of his. I mean, it wasn't a really long chapter, but it was a lot about him. I think half the chapter was just about his life. Basically, I think there's an ESPN doc on him. So if people want to check that out. It's pretty good. So I knew kind of his backstory, but basically his father had 25 kids. He had 15 himself.
That's insane.
Yeah, he had 15 himself. He has two homicides on his record. Both hit and runs, both family members, not on purpose. He was a severe alcoholic.
Right, I knew that about him.
A man whore. He loved
15 kids, yeah.
Basically, the book said he loved two things. He loved was women and drinking. So the first hit and run that he had that killed somebody was his own father. The second
intentionally?
one, no, not intentionally. He was drunk. The second one, which I believe he was also drunk for, was his mother-in-law. So
I think they're intentional.
Yeah, both of these though weren't like in a home. They're just like out on the streets. Like it's just like he's like driving around the city, like, and he's just hitting like family members.
Well, when you have, what do you say, 24 siblings, and 15 children.
Yeah, you're going to run into somebody.
You own a town, yeah.
Yeah. He was notorious for not loving the game of soccer. Think about if Ben White was a severe alcoholic and also played winger and was one of the best at the time. A lot of people mentioned, like, in the book, they basically said, like, he really didn't care about soccer. To him, it was just like something to do, and he was just really good at it. So there was that. He also, what was the other interesting part about him? Oh, he got married to like one of the like famous Brazilian singers after they won the World Cup. The dude was still married to like his like high school sweetheart, basically. But he was known for having his high school sweetheart back in the town that he grew up in, a mistress in Rio, and then obviously other mistresses where he's had other kids from. So that was kind of his story. He had a phenomenal World Cup. I think he was like the player of the tournament, whatever. But this World Cup, to me, that was basically the chapter. I think the big takeaway for me was the start of that anti-football kind of movement where it's like we're going to be more defensive because teams like Brazil are running all over us and they're so free-flowing and attacking. We need something to stop them. I think this World Cup ranked third for me for what I've read so far. So from 7 World Cups, this was the third best one. I think the soccer part really took away from how good it was because there was some outlandish moments and just like characters where you're like, this is crazy. Yeah. But I think the soccer aspect where it's like teams are scoring less goals because they're trying to be more defensive, and then Brazil just kind of running away with it, didn't really help that part out, I'm sure. So that was my thinking for placing it third.
Okay, fair enough. So give me just your ranking one more time for me. 1 to I guess 1 to 5.
You want me to go last to first?
Whatever you want. Just let it rip real quick.
Okay, so worst to best. 38 worst, 34, 30, 58, 62, 50, 54.
Cool. I guess we will see on the next episode. That would be 1966.
You know who won that one, right?
Yeah, this is a big one for a certain country. But let's get into our recap of the weekend. First off, thank you, Pooch, for that. I appreciate the review, so I don't have to do it. And again, Connor W., Pooch is just going to gatekeep the book, so please leave a comment on.
And honestly, if anybody wants to know the book, leave it on, I don't go on Instagram, so actually just leave it on Spotify. Like, if you don't have Spotify, download Spotify, leave a comment for this one. I'll look at it, and if you ask, Pooch, what was the book title? I will give you the book title.
He will give you the book title.
But other than that, you're not getting it.
And that you're not getting it. All right, let's jump into a recap of the past weekend. We'll start in the Premier League like usual. I'll start first. Spurs lose to Sunderland 1-0. Here are my thoughts. I watched the full game from start to finish. God woke me up right as the game kicked off. Thought, all right, I'll turn it on. Why not? Turned it on. First 5 to 10 minutes, I was like, oh, I like the Zerbi ball. Playing out of the back, nice build up. Then first half ended. I thought, you know what? We had our chances. It was decent. Not great, but it is what it is. A couple of things. Number one, atrocious refereeing display from start to finish. In the second half, the referee show continued, but Spurs do this thing where we'll look good for the first 65, 70 minutes. Then we really need our subs to kind of change the game. And I don't understand why it's now been across, I guess, 3 managers that we've made poor subs. João Paulinho is coming into games. Don't get that. Conor Gallagher is staying in games. Don't get that. Xavi Simons isn't coming on until the 85th minute. Don't get that. Tell came on, I think probably in that first bout of subs. I think the first bout of subs was Tell, Pape Sarr, and then João Paulinho. And I think they took Archie Gray, who looked okay. He didn't look terrific, but he looked okay. They took Bergvall, who I thought actually looked decent. And then Tell took, I think, Richarlison, which made sense. He was kind of playing off the left, which he does, but isn't his best. Xavi Simons should have come on in that moment too. We had no control in the midfield. All our midfielders are athletic. They're all runners. They're all dribblers. Xavi Simons is the only fit midfielder we have right now that can actually pick up the ball in a deep area, drive it, and help kind of combine with our front three. I think the whole end of the game was us getting the ball to Koulibaly on the right side of the field, him driving forward, and he doesn't really have a cross on him. So struggling to find Solanke, who had a mare of a game, in my opinion, horrific. Richarlison looked better than him. And until Xavi came on. Xavi came on, and I think he added a little bit, but he came on the 86th. The refereeing was horrific. I am the type of guy, I'm never going to start going. I don't like to make excuses for bad play. And I said, we didn't really play great regardless, but the refereeing was horrific. Broby deserves prison. So for those that don't know, Cuti Romero gets injured in this game. He's now out 6 weeks, so his season is done. He could have potentially missed the World Cup as well. As ball's coming in, he's shielding Broby so that Kinski can pick it up. Broby with 2 hands takes Romero, shoves him from behind into Kinski. Romero's knee hits Kinski in the head, so Kinski cuts his head open. Romero's out on the ground crying because he I don't know if he tore his MCL or what the injury is. So his season with us is done. Broby doesn't get a foul, not a yellow, nothing. He also elbowed Porro in the head earlier in the game. I didn't think it was a red. I didn't think it was that deep. But my point is the things that we and we talked about this on last episode, I think, Pooch, the things that Spurs sometimes get penalized for, other teams just get away with. They score off a deflection. You just it just feels like there's a conspiracy against us, and I don't know if it's God or PGMO or I don't know who. As a Spurs fan, I like actually what I saw from De Zerbi and his ideas. I didn't like the subs, and the only thing that's very frustrating is we were supposed to have Mohamed Kudus. Kudus is now out for the year, and these are the 2 players De Zerbi mentioned. He mentioned Kudus and he mentioned Romero as being 2 players integral for a sit, he was excited to work with. They're both now out for the season. Very, very bad. And the worst part is Spurs don't even go to the FA and complain about shit. They just let it happen. But meanwhile, Michael Carrick today after the United Leeds game is already out saying there needs to be an investigation, whatever. Whether I agree or not with Carrick is different. But tough loss. I don't know how it's going to get better. Relegation's a real possibility, and I do feel the other thing is we don't get penalties. Spurs are the only team in the Prem that has not had a penalty called for them all season. I don't know how this is possible, but that's my take on Spurs. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a few things. First is I'm looking at the table, and honestly, I think you guys can pick up a good maybe 12 points next year just off the bat against Derby, Norwich, Bristol
Such a
City.
dickhead.
I do think those are 3 6-pointers you guys can get.
Can I ask really fast? Right now, everyone pretend to be unbiased. Pretend like
I'll put on my Barca hat. I'll put on my Barca hat.
You're the biggest, Sevilla fan on the planet right now. You don't even watch Prem ball. Sit here right now and give me a one-word answer, E first, then Pooch. Do you actually believe that Tottenham Hotspur will be relegated? Like, no, there's no bullshit. There's no bad juju. There's no energy. There's no nothing. We're in a vacuum right now. Do you think Tottenham Hotspur is going to get relegated?
You asked me first?
Yeah. Yes or no?
I'm looking at the fixture list.
He said one word. He said one word.
No.
He said one word.
Pooch?
Yeah.
Oh, look at me. I'm Pooch. I get to laugh about this.
No,
Pooch, we're about to go in on you on the next one. Don't worry. We're about to go in on your
ran
ass.
the numbers. I ran the numbers.
Yeah, we need to pick up points.
Up until this game, you guys were safe by like 4 or 5 points. Like I was like, I mean, you've heard me say it week in, week out. I'm like, the numbers say you guys are good.
Yeah.
The numbers say you guys are good. This is the first time the numbers do not favor you. Do not at all. Like it does not help that Forest get a point against Villa and then West Ham destroy Wolves. Like that killed you guys. So like I was gonna bring that up where I'm like, I honestly do think that you guys may go down. Not because I just think it's, I mean, De Zerbi said it correctly after the game. I saw his quotes. I didn't watch the game, but I saw the quotes where he's like, it's not a playing issue. Because I agree. This whole 2026, it's never been, well, we have a bad team. We have our roster is like a bottom 3 roster. We're lucky to be above the relegation zone. No, it's just a confidence thing. Like none of your guys are confident, like stepping out. Like it just seems like I'm sure they're confident they're going to go into the game and win. But it's like, if you guys go a goal down, it doesn't feel like it's like, let's go get it back. Like the fans, I think, deflate, which then deflates the players. Yeah. And I'm not blaming the fans because like I would deflate too if I was a fan in that stadium where I'm like, oh my God, I know we're not going to come back and get a point. Like, so I also think I just want to real quickly say Xavi Simons, I've been saving this take for a while this year. Xavi Simons has mastered the art of looking busy. He is such a dog shit player. He just looks
Here
busy.
We go.
No, he does. How many goals does he have for Tottenham this year?
I don't know the number off the top of my head. Not many.
No. And he's like one of your he's supposed to be your like jewel signing of the offseason attacking.
I'll tell you right now, I have his numbers here. The Premier League in 26 matches, he has a goal and 4 assists in 17 games started, which I think is actually part of the issue there. 17 games started. And the worst part is since that game against Atletico Madrid, where he had 2 goals and a 9.5 rating, he's played, I think, 30 minutes of 180. So that's also part of the issue.
I just think that he is like a really bang average player that looks incredible in like lower level, not lower level, but like not as pristine leagues. Like I think you'd see the same stats if he was playing in Spain and La Liga for a top club like a Barcelona or something like that. Maybe better because he has better attack like players around him. But like I just think like he is just bang average, and like people treat him like he's like the next coming of Christ as a forward.
I don't think anyone treats him like the next coming of Christ. I'll tell you that. But what I will say is, I think he's very João Felix to me in the sense, and Cole Palmer to me. Not so Palmer's obviously proved it in the Prem, but in the sense like they are a very specific position. He's not a proper 10. And like the same way, like I would not play Palmer as like a proper 10. I think that's misprofiling him. He just doesn't have like the playmaking ability, right? He's kind of like that wide playmaker, for lack of better terms, that wants to play off the left, roam inside. He's a little bit like Eze, right? Like he's kind of like, he's more goal hungry than he is assists, if that makes sense. And I think this year
he doesn't score.
Not as much, but also this Spurs team has fucking sucked. So I'm not going to kill him on it. But my point is he also hasn't played in those positions. I'm just saying, to judge him off this season, like there's a lot of players on Spurs, if you judged off this season, that you could just write him off. But Coutinho Romero is going to be the starting center back for Argentina. Van de Ven's going to start for the Netherlands at the World Cup. So, like, if you want to write him off, you can, but it's also like just one of those years that the whole team sucks. Solanke sucks. He's going to go to the World Cup.
He will not go to the World Cup.
Are you
I'm going to say
sure?
this. I'm positive Solanke will not make that roster.
Has he not already been getting called up? Tuchel
Yeah,
loves
but
him.
Ben White got called up.
Yeah, but Ben White, he doesn't love footy.
See, like that's like I just think like if you're saying like what'd you say about Xavi Simons like writing something like
Writing?
you just mentioned that he was like writing or something like that.
I didn't mention anything about Xavi Simons writing. I'm gonna have to cut this. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Fuck. Maybe I thought of the Geno Smith quote in my head while you were talking.
That's definitely what you
And
probably
that's
thought.
what I was
don't
gonna
know.
mention.
I'm not cutting this now. Now you're just gonna keep it. My point is, I agree with you. I think, and again, this is a guy that every season Barca fans want him back because he came through La Masia. That's like where he got known for. And it's just he's such a like he needs to be in the correct system. That's why I actually was excited about Tudor, because when Tudor plays a 3-4-2-1 and his like the two in that is like two like almost tens, I was like, he's perfect for like that left forward 10 role. Tudor lasted 5 games and we look like shit. But again, I'm not sure. I thought De Zerbi was going to love him. I thought he was going to put him in the 10. But like, for instance, even better example, if James Madison is fit and they're both in the team, Madison's sitting at the 10 and then I'm putting Xavi on the left, if that makes sense.
That's also half of Tottenham's issue. Like one half is you guys just have zero confidence. The other half is half of the guys that you're paying I think are legally dead. Like
yeah, Madison should be back soon, hopefully.
Kulusevski, I think
he's
may
dead.
retire.
He's
Like is he alive still? Like, can we get a welfare check on him? Like,
he's the saddest thing too, because like as a Spurs fan, he's the type of guy like that runs the entire game, puts a shift in. Obviously, everyone's seen like his heroics against like Man City and stuff. Not that you want it to happen to any player, but it's like, dude, this guy had like a lot of promise. He was gonna like Sweden's at the World Cup. You know, like
people will like write novels on his Preston away performance next year. How good he does.
Let's talk about Arsenal. Arsenal dropped points to Bournemouth 2-1. If City beat Arsenal at the weekend, the gap is 3 points with a game in hand. So once again, Arsenal are in a position where the pressure is on them, and they do really well there. Pooch, I didn't watch this game. I know Alex Scott, Tottenham boy, scored, but I didn't watch the game. I think this was the same time as Spurs game, or maybe one before the other. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it was 7:30 on a Saturday, so that was most likely the reason
I was
why.
sleeping.
Yeah, it's literally like I'm gonna sound like a broken record, so I won't go into detail just about the guys looking tired. Like it's just like it just feels like
rotate.
Well, we should, but like who are you gonna like it's the midfield that needs to be rotated if we're being honest. Like the defense is fine. The attackers, we have enough attackers to rotate, so we should be scoring more. But like when you're having to put Kai Havertz in the 8 to because you have no midfielders, that then becomes an issue.
It's
I know
not
about
an stuff like that.
Yeah, it's not an excuse, but we have to win that game. The only thing that's keeping me alive is the fact that the numbers that when they were run, even if we lose to City, we still win the league. So I feel confident still.
If you lose to City, though, City has a game in hand, no?
Yes, they do.
So if you lose to City and then they win out, the league is done for you. Yes? Well, if they win out, yeah.
If City win out and then we win out, we win the league. If
no, because they have a game in hand.
Yeah, but if they win, they get 3 points.
Right, but then we go to goal differential.
Yeah,
if they beat you, they get to 3, but they have a game in hand. So what I'm saying, no, you're only 3 goals off them. It's 38-35, blood.
Okay, but we're doing hypotheticals right now. If, or you're right. You want to know what? If the sky fell today, we'd all be dead.
Here he goes. He's getting anxious. It's okay.
No, I'm chilling. Like I said, the numbers work in my favor. The numbers work in my favor.
All right. These are my cherries, though. They're so much fun to watch. This team's gonna get picked apart this summer, so quickly. Like Kropi's going somewhere. Kropi's gonna go to Everton. Like I just see it.
Their attacking is good, but I think everybody else is just bang average.
Senesi is
besides Alex Scott. Alex Scott.
Alex Scott, I've seen reports. This is a guy that when he was at Bristol, by the way, like everyone who's a Spurs fan, his family
Yeah.
are like huge Spurs fan, and Spurs fans are like, oh, we should sign him. He's a promising player. We don't sign him, and now an English, I guess he's like an 8, an English central midfielder, promising. Yeah, he's going to be 40 million minimum. Kropi, I could see him going to I could see him going to like an Everton, or whoever gets like that last Europe spot.
Yeah.
Are Bournemouth in a position to or no?
They're close. I mean, that whole
Yeah.
area they're on 45, Chelsea of 48. So they
You know
could
what?
if they make Europe, they might sell that kid, they might sell Kropi and Ryan, but everybody else
Yeah.
I think would stay.
The tricky part about Ryan is he just got there. So I wonder if he
Yeah,
stays
but
one more season.
Some
Yeah.
idiotic club like Chelsea will be like,
Chelsea,
"Oh,
yeah.
Brazilian winger, here's 85 million."
One
Like,
name too. Just
yeah.
like one name.
They'll be like, and then all the Chelsea fans will be like, "We have Samba ball back at the bridge."
Yeah. There's one Chelsea fan that I just heard say that as you said that. You didn't even make a voice. Senesi's going to go too. He's a free agent. And I know a lot of big clubs. Barca have been linked with him. I saw Chelsea and Spurs are linked with him. I think there's another Prem team. I can't. It wasn't Arsenal. It was maybe United or Liverpool. Because he's on a free. He's 28 in his prime. Argentinian defender.
Yeah.
He's had a very, very good year. But it's funny. I actually read something recently, and it's a good point. Like, people look at Bournemouth and they're like, oh, well, they use Moneyball. That's why they're so good. Using data at this point isn't what elevates your ceiling. It's actually what mitigates your floor, right? It makes your floor less because you make less poor decisions. So it's just interesting.
By the way.
Huh?
Great word, by the way. Mitigate.
Thank you. Yeah, I was working on that when I wrote this whole thing down. But it's just awesome to see teams like this and they're able to compete. No,
I agree.
This is going to be this podcast is going to get very toxic over the next couple of weeks as results happen. Because if Spurs are getting relegated and Arsenal say beat City this weekend, it's going to be horrific. And if it flips the other way, it's going to be very bad. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to sit back. I'll let Owen do it.
I'll say this, off the bat, if you guys get relegated, I'm going to be so pissed. I hate that. I can't believe a giant of the Prem would get relegated. I personally, I don't know about you guys, I would petition and put my own money forward.
Thank you, Pooch.
To get Tottenham back in the Prem. That's me personally. Do you guys want to match or no?
No, we're good. I think Spurs.
Oh, okay.
I'm not doing this right now. This is going to get so toxic, this podcast. It's kind of awesome for content.
I actively will not rub it in your face. I'll be just as pissed as you. Oh, damn it. Oh, fuck. We lost again. Sunderland.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next one. I hate this guy. City thwacked Chelsea 3-0. Yeah, Liam's got to be out. Now, here's my only. I didn't watch this game. Again, I was working during it, but I looked at the number. They thwacked them. I like that. I like that word.
Yeah, I was getting ready to. I was at my parents' this weekend, so I was getting ready to go back home, and I was like, "What's the 11:30? Oh, Chelsea City. All right, let me pop that on." I watched maybe 60 minutes, and then I was like, "All right, you guys, I'm leaving. I'm going home." It was just they destroyed Chelsea. Chelsea got their pants pulled down and smashed.
Oh, wow. Caicedo with a 4.5 on FOTMob. That's awesome.
No,
this is the best 6 in the world.
Yeah.
This is the best 6 in the world.
Yeah, no. He's better than Tonali. No, he's the best 8 he's the best all-around midfielder in the world, remember?
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can't say that. He's the best all-around midfielder in the world.
Yeah. This is I mean, I spoke to a Chelsea fan this weekend on our way to our men's league game. By the way, a big 5-1 victory to start the season. Class is permanent. Quick clap. Thank you, Owen. And it was just funny. He's like, yeah, back in the day, and he's going to listen to this, but Roman Abramovich had a rule you can't sign players over 28, and then that rule became 21, and now they're trying to sign older players. It's just what are you guys doing, man? I don't know. Where's the core? You need a core. And I know they're trying to find it, but it's you need out of your starting lineup, you need 6 to 7 players that you're these are my starters. Pooch did the meme.
I agree. Well, not only that, but I think we discussed it last week with the Bayern Munich, how they're moving towards a Barcelona format where it's your bench or 30 to 40% of your team should be comprised of academy players.
Yep.
technically a lot of these guys are academy players because they were signed at like 15, 16 years old and like
Right.
played in the academy for a year or two at Chelsea. But like, it's not what we mean by that. Like, you look at La Masia, like you look at whatever Bayern's academy is called. Um, they're bringing it through guys that have been there for a while, and it's like
Yep.
even Arsenal. Like you look like they have guys like Saka who's been there since like a little kid. Um, they've had Lewis Skelly, Waneri, like Dowman. Like they're having guys on that team where it's like, all right, like these guys have that culture of your club because they've been born into it, bred into it. Like they know what it means to be a football player from that club.
Yep.
And not like a mercenary.
I'd
And then you
also
bring in the mercenaries on top of that
right.
to
That's how
round it out.
not every club can do that, and I get that, right? Like not every club can field an academy or a mainly academy team, whatever. But like part of it for me too is I get people are like, well, competition's good if all the players are competing for spots. The problem is though, is when you have that much competition, the manager now is looking at the team and he's like, well, you technically outperformed them in practice, so you get to start now. Like it gets convoluted. Like there's days where like it is good to know like, hey, I'm the starting right back here. Like the team has my confidence. And like, yeah, at times you sub someone out, whatever, you give them a rotation, but like you need to have players you can rely on. My bigger issue with Chelsea at this point is honestly the appointment, and maybe he's picked the wrong club. I don't think the club was right for him. It was Liam. Like he never really won anything at Strasbourg, right? Everyone said
I swear to God, if they kept Enzo Maresca, they would probably be in a title race right now, or at least third. They would be around there. Yeah. He is a very good manager.
I will say this about Liam. Like, I don't blame him because someone was like, well, he didn't have to make like the move. Obviously, you're going to get the promotion. Like, why would you not take you know what I mean? You have to back yourself. You can't tell, not to mention Strasbourg's obviously owned by Blue Co. Like, you're not going to tell them, no, I'm good. I'm going to stay here. Like, hire someone else. Like, that's insane because, you know, with, I don't want to say with his luck, but like with one of our looks, right? Like, you go, no, I'm going to stay for a couple more years to develop. And then the next manager is their Sir Alex Ferguson. And now you never get a chance, you know.
Or even they get turned off by you being a manager.
Exactly.
Being like, oh, he's not ambitious enough. And then you're out at Strasbourg and then you're like, well, who wants me? And no big clubs want you. You have to basically restart. Like,
right. You have to take that. Like let's look at Owen, right? So like Owen, for instance, he's getting the big call up to Fox. Owen knows it's breaking our heart, but he's got to take the move. Even if he flops, he's got to take the move and go for it, right? Because you never know. We don't think Owen's going to flop. He's talented. He's intelligent. But you have to make the move. So I think like Owen right now might be our Liam. We're Strasbourg, and that's probably the best example. And he wears glasses like Liam too. Owen, is that accurate? Is that how you're feeling right now, like LinkedIn Liam?
Yeah, I guess so. I think that's good. I think I'll take that, honestly. That's not bad.
That's not too bad, right?
No.
Worst case, you might be able to come back, but we might also have a new Owen. You know?
Yeah. I mean, as long as you call him Owen 2, then I don't mind too much.
Fair enough. Maybe we'll call him Admin 02. That'll be fun.
That's kind of dope.
That is kind of dope. You're Admin 01.
I feel like I could hear like a rapper like called Admin 02.
Little maybe side career, little side quest for you.
Yeah, I mean, I got a lot of time on my hands. Maybe I should.
Yeah. I hope you don't because I am making the clips right now. Anyway, let's get back into it. Yeah, the other thing that's got to suck if you're a Chelsea fan is like Mark Gay, he scored against you, and that's an academy boy. And you could probably use him. But again, with this Chelsea team, I mean, I don't know. I'm no professional in this case, but it's just it feels also like very college basketball. Like every year you have like a new group of 12 players.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you need a little continuity. I get it. Like if you have 5 or 6 and you swap players out, that's fine. But you need to have a couple players that these are your core players and you could build around. And I know they're trying to find that, but I don't know. I don't even blame Liam for this, honestly. He's probably a little bit out of his depth, but I don't really blame him. He had to do what he had to do, and it is what it is. Plus, Chelsea were honestly just doing God's work this weekend. It's going to be a title race. And if you're City, this is kind of what City does. It's probably a little too late. Right, Pooch? It's probably a little too late for them to win the Prem, but at least they are waking up. That's good for them.
Yeah, I mean, good for them. I'm glad Pep definitely never... I mean, he would never like be a part of any cheating club. He said that in the past. If they cheated, he would have left. So
here we go.
I'm
Here's
excited
the copium.
to see. I'm excited
Here's the
to see
copium.
those 115 charges when they come out. What happens?
Pooch, see, this is the problem. You're worried about them too much. This is the
I'm
exact
not. You're
problem.
the
You
one
should
that
have just
you're
been like,
asking
who
me.
cares? I need to win my
You're
games.
asking me.
I did. I just said.
We do need to win our games.
That's all you should have said. It's okay.
Yeah.
Big game this weekend. I'm excited for that.
Listen,
What time
both
is this game this weekend?
Both North London clubs need to win out.
100. Hey, maybe we tie the bandanas together.
I would never do that.
Yeah, I'd honestly rather get relegated.
Yeah, I would rather come in second again.
I actually think it was the worst weekend for London clubs. Spurs lose, Arsenal lose, Chelsea lose, Fulham lose. Who else is in London?
Crystal Palace won.
Yeah, and West Ham won too. Never mind. Liverpool beat Fulham 2-0. Probably one of the most irrelevant fixtures.
I'm going to be honest. Until you put this on that sheet there, I didn't even realize that they played. I thought they were playing tomorrow.
Yeah, irrelevant fixture. I mean, good for them. I like the fact that this guy Rio, I don't know how to say his like Nguoma or whatever, seems fun. Academy boy, he scored. Palace beat Newcastle 2-0. So I saw a tweet today and it was like the London clubs have completely taken pressure off Newcastle because Newcastle are just playing like shit. Palace with a big win, fairs to them. I cannot believe Palace are in a better spot than Spurs right now. When Palace got raided this win, in the winter, right? Is Maiteta still there?
No. Yeah, he is. He scored. He got a brace.
Okay, so they didn't get as rated as I thought. They were
in the summer they got rated.
Yeah. Good for Palace. I did not watch this game. I have no idea, but Newcastle.
I watched the game because I had boots on the ground at the game. Both of my brothers were there. They both got on TV. Shout out the boys. And it was actually a really fun game. They said it was great, the atmosphere. So my brothers, nothing to do with the game itself. But they sat, the tickets they got were right next to the away end. Like legitimately, like they were the seats. When you see like the home fans and then that strip of like the whatever to stop the home fans and the away fans from going at it. They were right there. And I have a video of after Palace scored the game winner, the second goal, of my brothers and their friend turning to the away fans and giving the deuces and doing that. And in the video, there are a few older men who, the minute that you see the two fingers come out at the away fans,
I'm sure they lost their mind.
They started going nuts. And Timmy told me that one of the guys was about 6'5", 280, and was like, "Are you doing that to me?" And Timmy immediately froze. He was like, "Nope, not doing it to you. Not doing it to you." But it was good. They had the video after Mateta scored because they do the boom, boom, boom.
Mateta's in the room.
And it was a vibe and a half. So shout out Crystal Palace, Selhurst Park. Always great fan base, great vibes there. So good for them. And I do just want to let you know, because I saw this earlier today, last thing on this game from Ornstein. Newcastle United owners continue to support Eddie Howe, with all parties intending to evaluate manager situation in summer. Review plus any contingency work seen by those involved is normal. No serious talks yet over Newcastle United head football coach. He's gone. If your ownership is releasing statements like that, basically being like, we are not looking at anything. And if you do hear we're looking at it, we're just doing our due diligence. That dude's gone. He's out of there. He's lost the locker room.
Yeah, I think also, like you said, that's them. I don't know. That's like them saying very nicely, like, we're not going to fire him until the end of the season.
Yeah.
Like, we're just going to let him stay. But
we're going to wait till all the World Cup managers are free agents, and then we'll hire somebody.
Well, Eddie Howe is going to get the England job. Feels like that's a fit for him.
No, because Tuchel's there for another 2 years.
Is he going to really stay?
I think so.
I think England's going to flop at this World Cup, and they're going to fire Tuchel.
They wouldn't do that.
You don't think they would? Okay, maybe he walks away.
They kept Southgate for about a decade.
Wait, Pooch, you ready for this? You ready for this string coaching carousel? Guardiola leaves Man City. I don't know if we're going to call it a retirement. He leaves. Company goes to City. Tuchel goes to Bayern. Howe goes to England. Who goes to Newcastle? Thomas Frank goes to Newcastle. I'm not going to go any further than that. If I get all that right,
Newcastle fans are going to hate you. Newcastle fans are going to beat you up.
Yeah,
So,
well,
I mean, they don't have an international airport, so you won't ever fly into there to get beat
that
up,
was
but
that was some of the craziest misinformation someone's ever spread. Was you talking about how they don't have an international airport and then acting like you knew that, or
I
like
read
you
an
knew
old
that they
book.
did.
The book was out of date.
You really like came on this podcast confident as hell. Like you spoke like with your
I'm
chest.
still confident. I've never heard anybody be like, "Oh yeah, I'm flying into Newcastle today."
Who
That's totally
who
fair.
who are you
Yeah.
talking to where that would be something that anybody says?
Sources.
Yeah, here he goes with his sources. Sources are our same friend group that one of them just texted him like a Twitter link or something to something, a tweet that he saw. Uh, let's move
I got
over.
sources. People text me stuff on the side. I don't have their numbers saved, and they're just like, "Hey, Eddie Howe gonna be gone end of year," and then 30 minutes later, Ornstein tweets that. I don't know what to do with that. Like somebody got it right. It's just sources.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You have to maybe you become the inside source.
I would love
Um,
that.
next matchup here. This is like you mentioned earlier. So Forest draw Villa 1-1. Yeah, Spurs really needed Forest to lose this one. I mean, we're all still like within it, but yeah, Villa again. Villa and Newcastle are like carbon copies of each other, and the fact that they're both just kind of ass. Would you call it? Two cheeks of the same ass.
Yeah.
They're kind of the same vibe there. Like they're decent, but they're not great. I have nothing on this game other than the fact that
Nope.
yeah, Man United fall to Leeds 2-1. Probably another one that Spurs could have used a team to lose. I don't. Did you guys see the red card or the? I guess yeah, the
Mm-mm.
red card. All right. So the big controversy right now is that Licha Martinez gets sent off with a red
Shocker.
for pulling DCL's hair. Yeah, DCL, not DLC. His hair, and then I think later in the game something similar happens, and they don't get a red. Carrick talks out about it. Didn't see the goals, but someone literally just like commented under his like the quote card in his tweet, and it was just like, yeah. And on the right, you see someone's pull like Leach didn't like pull his hair. He like yanked his hair, like yanked him by the ponytail, and then the other one I think was just two guys jumping up for a header, and like it you cannot post a still image on Twitter and like use that as your defense. There's like so many still images that I see. I'm like, that's just yeah, obviously it looks like that, but then you watch the highlight or the replay and it's just not that.
I don't know
Yeah,
if this is a hot take or not.
yeah.
I think that should be allowed. Just like the NFL, where like you can tackle a guy by if he has like longer hair, you can pull his hair and tackle him. I think it should be allowed. Like I get like you're gonna get a foul called on you because like it's technically like a tackle or whatever,
hmm
but I don't think it should be a red. I think a
Yeah,
yellow.
I
Like
don't know if
it's
that's a
like
hot take. I get what you're saying. It's like it's just kind of like what if I pull your arm?
yeah,
You know,
like
like
if I'm playing Owen and I grab him by the back of his hair and pull him down, I'm
yeah.
getting a yellow card, but I should not get a red.
I kind of agree with that. I don't know. I need to watch the replay and maybe there's context about how like aggressive and violent it is. Yeah, United fall to Leeds 2-1. I didn't watch this game. I was working. It's tricky. We are like the worst podcast. I think we each watched our team. I didn't even watch City Chelsea. I watched the highlights.
I watched 70% of all the games that you
That's true.
mentioned.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I think the only one I didn't watch was Liverpool Fulham, and then this one because
Yeah.
I A forgot Liverpool was even playing, and B this one I was working. But
Good. No stress there, Poochie Man. Let's move over to La Liga. Madrid draw Girona 1-1 on Friday. Why is that relevant? Because then Barca go ahead and dismantle Espanyol 4-1. That's 4-1 for my non-Spanish speaker and my Vietnamese. Barca now lead 9 points on Madrid. And yeah, so I said there was two ways that Barca went about this game. It's either they rested their team or they just smashed Espanyol. Barca decided to just smash Espanyol. Lamine Yamal at some point had like I don't remember how he got the ball, but he got it past the keeper and he was doing like the Ross Barkley hands out to the side running into the goal. And all the Barca players were just posting essentially like, you know, Barca is blue and red, yada yada. That on the other side, Atleti decide to rest their starters and they lose to Sevilla 2-1. So Atleti is essentially kind of safe in a spot where they're going to finish like fourth or third, probably fourth at this point. Supposedly, there's rumors that Diego Simeone has been approved to rest his starters in La Liga and just play his team during the Champions League. I don't think this was the right move. Outside of losing to Sevilla, which Sevilla, I'm sure, very happy to get the points. There's something about not playing, having a game off, and then having to go and get your legs right. When Barca just smashed Espanyol, they were able to rotate at the end of the game, get players out. I don't know. Barca today, Monday, Lamine did an interview with Hansi Flick, and he essentially said, "We will die on the field." All of Barca Twitter, for those that know, like the LeBron meme with like the headphones and the black sunglasses, all of Barca Twitter
is that why
now,
you did it?
Potentially. Yeah, that's of course why I did it. All of Barca Twitter has pictures of, they made edits of the Barca players as LeBron. I made one of myself, but
well, you're
this
on the
game's
team.
No, but I might as well be. With the amount of hype, and I also have a podcast, so like I'm contributing.
Yeah,
we're gonna get into the preview of the games, but honestly, like I think Atleti resting their starters was the worst move they could have done this game.
I disagree fully because
Here we
it's not
go.
like those guys have like a 3 weeks off and then they're like, all right, we got to get ready for this Champions League game, so nobody play on the weekend. They literally played last Tuesday. Like they'll be, I think a week off is actually helpful. I think you mentioned it on last week's episode where you said like, hey, like in the preview of this, you were like, hey,
Yeah,
last time we were down, I think was it the remontada where
yeah,
whoever was manager, I think Enrique, right?
yeah,
Just basically was like, you want to know what? You guys go play out of that like loss.
yeah,
And they destroyed whoever. You mentioned that. So the same vibes in terms of this, where it's like Flick was like, go play out of it, like
yeah.
get that loss, don't sit on it. But on the opposite side, if you won that game, you have to feel confident, just rest up and get ready for the next one. I mean, it's going to be a war.
I don't know. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if this was a real quote or not, but somebody said, "What is like? How are you gonna handle Barca's like high line?" And Simeone literally said, "Like we're not worried about it." And the reporter's like, "Why?" He's like, "We're not planning on attacking."
I mean,
So
it's probably fake, but it could genuinely be
it could
very
genuinely
true.
be real. This game is gonna be haram ball versus like the most attacking football. Like it's honestly gonna be sick. Of course, I have to work during it, so I'm gonna. This is something I have to determine. I have to determine: do I shut off my phone? I'm working tomorrow from 3 until 8:15. Do I shut?
Ethan,
Yeah.
you sound a little stuffed up. You look a little pale. You coming down with something?
Yeah. I got pooplia. I don't know if I'm gonna
Yeah,
be able to go to work.
yeah. I
Pooch,
think you should call out.
Pooch. I'm not gonna lie. I've been thinking about it.
I
If there
think you
wasn't some,
should. You don't look good, man. You do
if there
not
wasn't
sound
some
good.
other factors about work, I probably would. I've been begging for rain, praying for rain
It's
tomorrow.
supposed to rain.
Is it?
Yeah, I just saw it. Well, it's supposed to rain soon. Forecast starting in 29 minutes. Oh, no,
This
it's
doesn't help
not.
me for tomorrow.
No, it's not supposed to rain
Fuck.
tomorrow.
I
Well,
am
10% chance at 6, but
10% chance, 90% faith. That was the last quote from the last remontada. Long story short, I have a dilemma. I don't know. Do I just shut my phone off and I just ignore everything until I get home at 8:15? My worry though is if I commit to that, somebody is going to ruin my life. For those that don't know, I'm a youth soccer coach. 1 second, Pooch. Somebody's going to come up to me and be like, "Can't believe Barca came back," and just ruin my life because they're not going to know, or they're going to come up to me. This was actually what will ruin my life more. Yeah, tough one for Barca today. I can't believe they got robbed again. Where part of me is like, I'd rather just know and then watch the full game later at night in bed and just be able to enjoy it or not have to watch it. I don't know. What do you think here, Poochie?
I think I'm going to be the one that destroys that for you.
Well, my phone will be dead. I will turn my phone off, actually off.
I will take off work right now and drive to wherever you're at and just sit in the stands and be like, Ethan, 1-0 Madrid or 2-0 Barcelona, remontada on. I'll do it. If you want me to, I will.
No, I don't. So what's funny is during the last remontada, it was similar. At this point, I was still going to performing arts high school, and it was the one show I was ever in, and we had rehearsal. So I remember I was wearing my purple Barcelona kit that I got that summer in Barca, and my mom and dad told me that because my junior year was kind of like a senior year. For those that don't know, I went to college and was a senior in high school. My parents were like, well, as like a graduation gift, if Barca advanced to the next round, we will get tickets and go. So I was like fully committed. But Barca were down 5-0, 4-0.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, there's no chance. I wore my purple Barca jersey to school. I remember it. And I remember during rehearsal, I couldn't check my phone frequently, but I remember I checked it right at the end of the game and legitimately in the middle of them rehearsing, fell to my knees and started crying and screaming yes. And I remember them being like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? And like running around, again, I went to school with all girls. No one knew what I was talking about. I was yelling remontada, like through the middle of rehearsal. So the only good thing here is I'm thinking it might be a good omen that I'm like not watching. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure this out. This is something I'm gonna have to think long and hard. I'm gonna pray on this, and think about it. But yeah, that was kind of probably a Champions League preview too. But let's move in real quick. We'll wrap up this recap quick with Serie A. So Milan lose to Udinese 3-0. Leao got booed off the field. He's got to leave AC Milan. I mean, how many summers has this guy been linked? Where he goes, I don't know. But what do you think, Booch?
Tottenham.
I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah,
we'll literally take it.
Yeah, I think him against.
Yeah, here he goes.
I mean, you got Stoke away. That'll be a tough game for him. Preston at home.
Sure. Thanks, Pooch.
Wrexham.
Napoli draw Parma 1-1. And then Como lose to Inter 3-4 in a thriller. I hate to say it. I said it last episode, but we're officially out of the title charge. That was it.
Crazy that you don't mention Roma now only being 1 point behind Como for 5th, but whatever.
Well, that's your job. You're the fan.
No, I'm just saying. It's
Who'd you guys
crazy.
beat?
We beat
Pisa.
3-0. I believe Malin had a brace or maybe a hat trick.
He's in crazy form.
It's crazy to me that like the minute we get him, he goes off and then our defense goes, all right, time to open up the floodgates. Like it's so infuriating. You don't understand. Well,
totally understand that.
You're a Tottenham fan, yeah.
I hate this guy. Owen, you watch this Como game?
I actually did.
Yep.
It was a blast. And
I'm sure.
I really just love watching this team, especially being a Spurs fan. It's just awesome to not have to watch Spurs because I have a better excuse. I did not watch the Sunderland game. And when I got the notification that we got scored on, I actually laughed out loud to myself. I was sitting in my car and I just laughed. Either way, this Como game, I thought we had it in the bag, as most people did. Going up early on 2 nice goals. Nico Paz is simply one of the best players in the world, and I will hear nothing of it. I think he's lined up to have a generational World Cup, and I think by the end of this summer, if Nico Paz isn't a household name already, I predict that he fully will be. Either way, tough game. I mean, when you're playing an Inter, that's what's going to happen. It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
You're going to get scored on. And it didn't even really feel like we got beat like that. It was more just a couple lapses in concentration, a couple better plays from Inter. When this Como team loses, it's not like a full breakdown. It's not like the team just goes out and is worse than the other side that day. It's more just like the other team was good, a couple small mistakes lead to a couple goal concessions, but I'm still willing to believe that this team can get in the Champions League spot. They're only 2 points behind Juve, which is in the Champions League as of right now for next year. So I'll be keeping my eye on that, and we're going to remain hopeful.
100%. Como has been,
Real quick question, because you mentioned Argentina with Nico Paz. You think he starts over Enzo Fernandez? He's the best all-around midfielder in the world, I was told. You're telling me Nico Paz is a better player than Enzo Fernandez in the midfield?
Without a doubt.
Crazy. What?
Yeah, all jokes aside, I think that Nico Paz is better than Enzo Fernandez. But I don't.
Chelsea fans gonna hate us again, man. There went 3 of our listeners.
Good.
Listen, whether I like it or not, whether any of us like it or not, Enzo Fernandez will get that start, and you can't be mad at it. But I'm still confident that Paz is going to have a remarkable World Cup, whether it's coming off the bench, whether it's sneaking in the lineup in a different spot. I don't care. I think he's going to have a brace and an assist one game.
I agree with you. I think he's going to have an impact. I just think it's going to be off the bench. And obviously Enzo plays a little deeper. Plus Messi at this point in his career, like we're not going to start doing lineups, but if you're talking the front three for Argentina, you probably have like Julian Alvarez could play off the right. Messi is like a false nine. And then, I don't know, someone off the left. Who's off the left?
Almada.
Who?
Thiago Almada.
Maybe Nico Paz. Yeah, they have options there. Let's wrap up our recap here. Let's go around the world. All I have here is the USL. So for those who are listening that maybe want to interview on the podcast, join us. Let me tell you about the James Murphy CIP effect. James got off the call with us. The next night he had a game. James has 2 assists against Louisville in a 3-3 thriller. I texted James and I said, what did I say to James here? I said, go on, son. 2 assists after the pod. And he responded with, and James, I hope you're listening. You did mention you're a huge fan. He said, haha, might have to come on every week now. Biggest pod I've ever been on. It's only right. Casual. Something light. Let's move over to Tampa Bay. So obviously Gennaro Nigro, who's still hurt for us. But MD Myers, who will be coming on this upcoming Thursday. They draw 2-2. MD Myers did not get a goal, but interesting. He doesn't score. We'll see the effect after the pod. We then will go to 1 Knoxville. They draw Portland 0-0. This John has obviously not been on for a little bit. John played strong. I think he had a 7.5 rating on FOTMA. That is the effect that this podcast has on people. You come on, we give you good vibes. Pooch probably tells you a celebration or chant he really wanted to tell you, and then you go and perform well in the USL.
For the love of God, Martin Odegaard, please come on the podcast.
Fair. I mean, hey, if you want to get Martin on, I will talk to Martin. But yeah, that is our recap there. We're very excited to have MD Myers come on this upcoming Thursday. And obviously, I think we're turning into a USL pod. I kind of like that. It's kind of fun. It's niche. Good word.
Hell
there.
yeah.
Thanks, Ethan. Let's get into a Champions League preview. So obviously we will be going into the second leg here of the quarterfinals. Let's start off with an easy one. Bayern Munich is up 2-1 on Real Madrid, and they are going back to Bavaria. I think Bayern wins this game like 2 or 3-0.
Yeah, agreed.
Maybe Madrid scores one, but like I don't see this being a game that's going to be super exciting. Other than the fact like Madrid is going to try and counterattack, and that's I think all they got. Something that again, listener Connor W, he's getting a lot of airtime. Something I did not know is KOD, Kane Olise Diaz, are actually chasing Madrid's record of BBC in the league for one of the best trios of all time. I don't have actual numbers or stats, but apparently they're doing very well, which makes sense. So something to keep in mind about Bayern Munich. But yeah, this first leg, I don't see anything crazy happening.
KOD chasing BBC. It's a J. Cole wet dream.
That might be at the end of the episode.
No, do you get it? You get it?
No.
He had the KOD song.
Yeah.
And then the song Wet Dream. Okay.
That was okay. That was decent.
Yeah, see, now you started thinking the wheels turned a bit. And now you're like,
no. When you
damn,
said it, I
Pooch has
understood
bars. Pooch has bars.
I fully understood it from the jump. I'm a large J. Cole fan, but it still pained me. Arsenal are up 1-0 on Sporting. Pooch, give me 30 seconds here. What is your take?
I think we're in a good spot. I think we score 1 goal and the tie's over. If I'm being honest,
I can see that. I totally see that.
If Sporting score first, it's all bets off. We could lose the draw. But if we just score 1, I don't see them scoring 2 to bring it into extras. So
you know what is very Barcelona of us, or now that I'm going to talk about Barcelona, is Barcelona are going to lose to Atleti 2-1, and Sporting are going to beat Arsenal. And what's going to be stopping like a couple of years ago, for instance, Barca lost to Liverpool in the remontada. They were remontada on us, and we were like going to play Spurs in the Champions League final. I guess it wasn't last year with Inter Milan. There was like another year, I think, maybe with Inter Milan that we would have played them in the Champions League final. Like they looked weak. Like, or no, it was maybe the Borussia Dortmund one, stuff like that, where it's like, if you just come back, like you have an easy path, and instead we like shit the bed. I'm not saying necessarily that Sporting are going to win, but I'm going to say if Barca doesn't win, like Sporting are going to win, and everyone's going to be like, "What the fuck did we just do?" Atleti versus Barca, we just spoke about it. Remontada.
Well, I just have one quick comment because I didn't bring it up earlier. Is it a little soft in your opinion that Yamin is
Lamine.
begging Simeone to go 1v1 in that interview. He was like, "Please,
Pooch,
Simeone,
I'm gonna let
please
you.
let me go 1v1."
Wait, Pooch, I'm gonna let you retract your statement. I'm gonna give you one chance before I go in. You really think that's soft? You think my
To be
17-year-old winger telling the other manager, "I dare you to go 1v1"?
He's begging for a 1v1. He's gonna cook. Everybody knows 1v1. This man will
Yeah,
cook anyone.
yeah.
So
He said
why would he be begging for it? I pause. I need
he's
him,
telling him, "Let's go. Don't mark me with 4. Mark me with 1v1. Be a man." He's gonna
but he
cook him with
knows.
4 anyway. Oh, yeah, you're
But
gonna
he
get me riled
knows.
up. You're gonna get me
No,
riled up.
but Simeone knows. Hey, 1v1, we're cooked. But if I put 4 guys on him, this Barcelona team isn't good enough without him.
I
You
don't.
should
What
take
do
it
you, what
as
do
a
you,
respect.
he
I
does,
think
but he said,
I think
"Be a man."
Yamal should have came out and been like, listen, I'll take 8 of them. Give me 8, Simeone, and I'll
He's gonna
still
go
beat
through
it.
11. He's gonna
And
go
that's
through 11.
But see, that would have been more aura if he sat there and he was like, "Give me all 11, I'll still score a goal on your ass." Like, instead of going
I don't know.
1v1 me, 1v1 me.
I don't think that's what he said. Pooch, you worry about your tile, worry about mine. You're supposed to be a Quiled, and you're just not. All right. So I'm just gonna say that right now.
The
I
thing is,
welcome you to this fan base. This is what you do to me.
I'll say this, Ethan. At this point, it's like what was that green guy's name in Avengers? What was he called?
Green,
Thanos.
not green,
He's green enough, greenish, green hue.
purple.
There needs to be balance in the universe. So if
Yeah.
both of us are over here, so I'm going to root for Barcelona in the game. Don't worry about that. But if both of us are hopping on this preview being like Yamin needs to I'm glad he's asking for the 1v1, like Simeone shouldn't pussy out and should give him the 1v1, then the viewers don't get anything. But you getting riled up because I'm saying that he it's pussy of him to say that, that's balance in the universe.
Fair enough. I'll give it to you. That's good content. You're right. We're all about content.
Good comms.
Yeah. Owen, why don't you give me your takes on these games? We haven't got to the Liverpool one, but give me the first 3. Bayern or Real Madrid? Do you see a comeback?
Not really.
Okay. Arsenal, Sporting.
Well, little bias here. Realistically, Arsenal's winning, but
Okay.
I'll put my Sporting hat on for sure.
I mean, that's fair. And then Atleti versus Barca. You're not a Barca guy. Not necessarily not enough.
Yeah, I'm not anti-Barca. To be honest, I was looking at this morning, and
Okay.
I just, for some reason, I looked at it, and I like to make my predictions on FOTMob. It means nothing and nobody cares, but I did like to do it. And
Yeah.
I just instantly was like, Barca's winning.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, wow, they are down 2-0, but I didn't care. I still think Barca's winning. Their team is just like, I don't watch that much Barca. Every time I watch a highlight or I watch 20 minutes of a game, you're just like, these guys are so good. And that's the worst take I've ever had. And it's the dumbest thing you could say when you're on a podcast about sports. But at the end of the day, I think they're just such a talented team.
Fair. You know what? Oh, and that was terrific. That is a great way to not get fired or sold permanently. Thank you for that. All right. And then Liverpool PSG. I think this is the game with the least amount of chance to be turned around.
Yeah.
And it's bad because obviously it's like Liverpool at home, but I think Madrid have a better chance. I think Sporting have a better chance of turning it around. I know they just beat Fulham at the weekend. I just don't see it.
War a trophy.
What? Oh, beating Fulham.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they look like shit, but should be still a fun weekend. You know what's good, though, about having You know what's good about having the quarterfinal the way it is? You need a game that's kind of shit. So that way you don't have to be like flipping all around. So I think it'll be today, I should say, is Barca. Today is Barca Atleti, and then I think it's Liverpool PSG. Yep. So you can focus all your energy on the Barca Atleti. And then the good part about the Bayern Real and then the Arsenal Sporting is you just flip to the game that's better. So if Arsenal scores up 2, you're like, all right, good. I'll throw on the Bayern game, see if Real Madrid is life. Worst case, if Bayern goes up crazy, you're like, all right, let's see if Sporting has a comeback. I actually think it's balanced very nicely. But we will see. Other than that, I think that's all we have, fellas. You guys have anything else?
Do your taxes.
Yeah, that was my big thing. Wednesday is tax day. Do your taxes. We need all the listeners we can have. So if you go to prison, you can't listen. So please do your taxes.
Speaking of prison, I found out that we probably shouldn't be shouting out companies with fake ads if it's not correct. With that being said, if you type classes permanent into your H&R Block, you will get 15% off everything, all your taxes. I believe there's a $20 rebate um, for filing on time. So just get it done. H&R Block classes code classes permanent. And yeah, you'll be good to go. Tell them Pooch sent you.
Tell them Pooch sent you. I like that. Tell them Pooch sent you. Other than that, class is permanent. Form is temporary. Enjoy the Champions League games. Visca Barca. Peace.